Let's go, mate. Probably won't be too long tonight. What's time now? What's going, brother? What's up, Tristan? We've got rhythm. We've got a 13BD, 13BD, 13. All blacked out. Yeah, I don't do the live streams much anymore. Gotta love the 13, eh? 13 Steps to Nowhere. There's a Pantera song. Friday the 13th. What is their significance for 13? It's always in horror movies, isn't it? 13. So there must be some type of significance there with that one. Always like the 7s. Suppose 6 is good too. You get 6 strings. Okay, I might get this chair up a bit more. Damn, there you go. Got married on the 13th. Let's maybe see me ABS. Up over here. What's that? Looks like I'm getting okay levels. Yeah, my idea of black metal, I'm probably more like thrash and old school death metal. So I know I'm on that. Black metal, my idea is always that sort of For some reason that minor bar chord always makes me think of black metal. And I'm definitely always going to, I've got my, because like the death and thrash metal or just the picking styles that I like, I'm always probably going to mix that and not always do strictly like a black metal thing, because I might want to be, I love delay too with it. Do some type of thing, or if I'm gonna that, then I could arpeggiate that. And I have my tendency to do lots of vibrato, so that's probably not as much black metal. Where I'm like, See, I want to dig in and throw pinch harmonics. And how to make it thrashier. No worries, thanks for dropping in, bro. Have a good morning, night. If you're in Oz, it's a night. But nah, thanks for dropping in, bro. Yeah, sweet, bro. Melbourne. Have a good night, brother. Doing the night shift, eh? Hopefully they're paying you good, bro. So yeah, that's we could even talk about that. Cause I was even thinking, like, I've been smashing out the videos a fair bit lately. Still learning about to crash out, so I was looking for something to put on. But are you going to be doing live streams regularly? So catch up. Yeah, I should probably try to do like a regular scheduled live stream. Would be a good thing. So I was doing them, but then I started, when I do live streams, I was getting a bit carried away, and I'll do like 2-3 hours or something, and I find it hard to be like set to a time. So it might be good if I start having regular programming type deal where I just do an hour live stream, so then people know when to jump in on them. Would be pretty cool. Oh, sweet. Yeah, no worries, Tristan. Is pedal boost? Yeah. Yep, I use pedal boosts most of the time. Sometimes I won't use them depending on the style I'm going for. So if I want a bit more clarity in doing those big open strum chords, then yeah, I won't use one. But majority, I'd say 90%, 95% of the time, I'm always using one. I really love them, especially if you're doing got that delay and you want these kind of things. For the harmonics. So for just the way the note hangs and sustains, I really love having a boost. That's awesome to hear. I appreciate the support. I'm glad they've been helping, man. I was on, would have been like the 5th of May, marked a year I've been doing YouTube videos on the 5th of May. So, yeah, all you subscribers, man, have definitely helped me with the direction of the direction I want the channel, or that the channel has gone in. I pretty much just started not knowing what I was even doing on here, to tell you the truth. I'm still sort of searching a bit. You know, I know Tristan's from my Patreon, so even the Patreon, I started that in November, and that was just like, really, should I even start that? So I'm so new to all of this stuff. Yeah, I suppose having the confidence, yeah. But I appreciate that I've been the videos have helped you out, man. It's actually just friends. Like I started just posting through Facebook a lot. I was doing videos on there for ages, just learning how to do them. So I suppose that sort of helped me when I went to produce these, like sound wise, with some of the gear that I use. And that's where I learned a lot of like my sound production was with the 2 notes and using IRs and my doors and all that type of stuff. Definitely helped. Might even try. What have we got here? We'll do a bit of mood lighting, eh? Get that one cracking. May as well get a bit of the backlight going. We'll get all pro looking, eh? Like that way. Then I'll go this one off. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, maybe it's too dark on me here. We'll see. What does that look like? I'm too dark. We could probably turn this one on, eh? It always works a bit. Yeah, that light throwing it into here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Turn this one off. Let's see if that works. There we go. Bit of a different vibe there, eh? Oh yeah, I'll definitely, that's the next video, brother. I'll be using that guitar up there. It's one of my favourite guitars. It's amazing. Yeah, it's freaking crazy. Like, so yeah, it's basically, so what happened was, like, I was doing a lot of, may as well even get my famous, the hat that sort of even helped me too. Where the hell is that? Where put me hat? There we go. Let's get the classic. This is where most people, when they found me. There we go. Now I'm looking full American sports attire. So yeah. And yeah, so it was that video, easy death metal pattern. And I don't even really know what inspired me to go, oh, let's just, because on YouTube you've got to come up with titles. And so people, like, what would you call this video? You know, and that's when I just was like, oh, that's an easy death metal pattern, because I thought it just had that sort of sound to it, which was definitely this one. Which was on this guitar when I did that bit. So if I go to that distortion. And then I thought, like, from listening to Obituary and stuff, where they're just like, that old school type of death metal where they've just got that yeah, Illusion, yeah. You can answer that one for me, Illusion. Thanks, bro. So, yeah, so it's from that one, and I was just like, oh, let's just do something simple. And that has made me think, so then I just called it easy death metal pattern. That's how a lot of people found the video. And I was just like, you know, if you tremolo pick it, from that video doing so well, I was like, okay, because I've never even heard of anyone or seen anyone doing easy death metal patterns. They'll always call things, normally when I've been looking at guitar stuff, it's always scales. And that's why I thought, okay, like if you're coming on YouTube, a lot of people, and especially me too, like there's a lot of players out there that are better players than me. And I started thinking, you know, like what could I show people sort of starting off, instead of having these ones where it's just like, oh, here's this legato run, you know, learn this. You know, here, and I don't think people really were coming on here to be like, if you're just starting off playing it. And that, in a like a world of lead and shred playing, that type of legato isn't really super technical stuff. When you're talking about like people like Brandon Ellis. Oh, thanks, Bill. I'm going to give you the... I really appreciate that. Got a super chat. So Bill gets the any questions answered, riffs. Yeah, so just on a tangent talking about how this whole thing has started and where it's really going. And if I tell you, the subscribers have definitely made this channel, and like I would have stopped doing this whole YouTube thing, because I'm, like I said, if you take a player like Brandon Ellis from the Black Dahlia murder, like that guy, when I watch him play, I'm just like, holy crap, that dude is just absolutely, he's probably one of my favourite new shredders. Like when some of the leads he does, I'm just like, this is just insane, eh? You know, yeah, and Bill, if you want any questions answered, or I can teach you something more on the live stream. So yeah, it was from that, and just seeing, like I said, some absolute beast players out there, like Tech Def, like Dean Lamb from Archspire, he's another good YouTuber. You got that Bernth guy. A lot of good teaching guitar players out there, and this really even started with from the Facebook groups. Some of the licks I was doing and some of the legato stuff and just the way I'm riffing out. Yeah, and that's always that's finding how to's, what metalcores, they start explaining all this complex shit, but I feel like I just can't hop right into it and get better over time. Yeah. That's awesome, Garbody. Thanks, Ruben, for that. Yeah, so, and you're exactly right, you know, I don't think people are coming onto, that's awesome, your band, you got any links for that one, Bill? Band in the 60s. Yeah, all even, you know, coming from, because even a lot of the stuff, like, I've got other stuff that I play. You know, if we go back to the 60s, like I was learning, you know, Hendrix sort of stuff, and I, you know, he's the one always at that, you know, and it's like chords like. Is that one on? It's a bit bassy, that one on my clean channel. Got something. Probably turn down the bass, crank up the mids a little bit more. But a lot of, you know, and all this sort of. I used to even like 50s stuff when I was a kid, you know, so. That's what it. Forget how that one goes, but all of that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? A lot of, like, anything pretty much to do with guitar, I just like it. If it's clean. Like, country music has some absolute mean pickers, like unbelievable guitar players. Like tremolo picking, like I tell you what, if some of these country players, hybrid picking, chicken picking and stuff like this, like it would still help you as a guitar player, and you can easily, really all that happens is you're just not using those chord sequences or scales, you know, that would be traditionally. The more extreme you get, you're sort of diverting away from those traditions. You know, your traditional, everyone would start off with your pentatonic scale. Octave, and then you start learning, you know, if you're doing blues lick stuff, you've got your Sorry about that. I didn't realise ads were turned on. Sorry about that one. How do I turn that off? Oh, I really appreciate that. How do you turn ads off? Is it on that thing? Manage? No, don't want to. This stream can be accessed again for the manager. It's exiting. I pushed the wrong button then. Cancel? Is that the right button? Obviously you can see I'm a pro here when it comes to live streaming. Set channel level center. Okay, monetization off. There we go. Save that one. Sweet. So I haven't done one in a while. I just seen the ad pop up on here while I'm looking at the thing. Thank you, Garboni, for that. Thank you, Bill. Garboni giving me some super chats. And I appreciate it, you know. And 10 cents I'd appreciate it, man. I don't expect anything from anyone. But I appreciate that, man, the videos that are helping you, that's like definitely that's even been payment enough while this whole thing's going. Obviously, if the channel continues to grow, holy shit. Bloody hell, Bill. Thanks, mate. You're a legend. See, I'm super humble with that. Like, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, yeah. I don't even know what to say when people are being this nice to me, to tell you the truth. It spins me out a bit, man. Yeah. I get lost for bloody words, eh? Ugh, I couldn't even imagine being on 1 million, you know? Like, this is just... I'm I still don't even... Like, because I feel like, you know, like I said, I think maybe we all do this as guitar players, is we compare ourselves to the best. And, you know, I know I'm not the greatest player out there, but it's the passion that I've got, plus like you said, that people, it's more if you're starting off, so I'd be part of your journey if you're starting off, and a couple of things I can do. Yeah, I can do better than advanced. I'd say like you got intermediate. I'm between advanced and intermediate. Would be fair. You know, I'd think I'm between that. And thank you so much, Bill. If there's anything, yeah, I don't know, lesser thing, because that's what I was doing. I was messing around looking at some Slayer riffs, but yeah. So that's just thrown me for a loop, that one. I'm like, holy shit. Getting people doing super chats and things like that. I think it's, yeah, they're super chats. So, yeah, what I was talking about before. So this whole YouTube thing, I've done it, it's been a year now I've done the channel. And as, you know, from the comments like Garboni and Tristan's also is on my Patreon, and just people giving me the feedback of what they're liking to see, because that's, I've noticed, I've definitely like, how about I try to do YouTube properly as people give me feedback, and it's about listening to people and giving them, you know, you come here to watch or to learn, and that's what I've done. Like, because I was in guitar groups and I tried to do the whole amp, here's a pedal by this, here's this new pedal type of deal channels, and I felt that they were overcrowded, but also I don't have the money, or being in Australia, the access to like a Sweetwater chain that's going to keep sending me gear to demo. And I don't know if I think the gear demo thing's a bit played out, but tremolo picking I can do it decently, but when I ever go really fast I tense my wrist and it gets too hard. So the tips I'd say is, I'd say you gotta, well, one thing I'd start to concentrate, if when you're tensing up, are you tensing up your breathing too? We have a tendency when we're doing things that we find difficult is to we forget about our breathing. You know, a nice breaths, controlled breaths, staying calm and relaxed as you're sort of doing it too. Because you don't want to, like, when you're tensing up, that could also injure you a bit, your muscles. Like, there's going to be a little bit of tension, but you got to be careful with that one. So what I'd say is, there's one that I've seen is like quick bursts of speed. So, and what I like to do is you have little breaks. You have little breaks of power chords in between your tremolo picking, and you'll find that where like your limit is, that tension limit, it will increase, but you're just going to have to practice pretty much every day. You know, I'd even say that, just play every day. Start off at a manageable, where you sort of feel comfortable BPM. Raise it up so that when you're playing it, you're struggling really bad at a fast tempo. Then you'll find that, so say you're at like 150 or was your limit, okay? Then you crank it up to say 190. 190, you're going to be like, holy crap, there's no way I can do that. But you'll almost get it. And then what will happen is your brain will start perceiving the 150 that you were struggling at as a lot easier. And also just having like a drum program. So what I would do, get some type of drum program. You got to force yourself to practice a lot. That's pretty much all it's going to take. You know, I still have to, even now. That video I did posted yesterday of me just improvising and jamming out was actually part of my tremolo picking training. And then I was like in this room and I was like, I don't want to, because it's after work and it takes a lot of time to write out tabs and all that sort of stuff. That's why on the weekend you'll see the weekend vids are a lot more in depth than these through the week ones. I'm just like, here's a quick idea type of deal, like an easy death metal pattern style. And so that was a video showing me about, I'd probably been about an hour into my tremolo picking. And what I would do, I do like 5 to 10 minute bursts of training, then have a rest, go have something to eat, have some drink, relax, do some breathing, meditation, all that sort of stuff. You know, your mind is what's making this whole thing happen. So then once you've got all that going, you're training with the beats. One thing like I always talk about is when you've got that tip of the pick, don't go too deep into your strings. That's one thing. You're just clipping it with the very tip of it. The littlest you can touch the string, the best. Because least resistance is always going to create easier motion. So if you're getting stuck on the string, you're fighting harder to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. With the whole... Yeah, fucking everyone will get that when you say just the tip. It's going, Liam. Thanks, brother. Didn't see that one there. I really appreciate it. Thanks, mate. So, yeah, so back to like how you could do the tremolo stuff. So there's a lot of, and I'm sort of, as I'm trying to explain it, and this is what happens when I'm making videos, and I edit all this crap out of me just going blah, 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 and just rambling on. But it's, you'll see, because the funniest thing I find with guitar, you're going to have one person saying, this is the way I would approach it, and then you have some rule breaker come out that holds the pick the way you shouldn't hold a pick, uses a motion that they say you shouldn't do, which is too hard. Like, I'd say Hetfield's a classic example. He holds a pick, and I've been wanting to do a video on this. Like, he holds it with 2 fingers, like that, his pick, and a thumb. And he uses like a bigger one. So we'll use a green one so you can see it better. Alright? And he holds it like that, 2 fingers. And he does battery, everything like that. Now if I try to hold it with 2 fingers and play, I completely suck. So if I just looked at Hetfield and went like, that's the way, even Eddie Van Halen's another one, because I'm born in the 70s, and anyone who's ever played guitars from the 80s into the 90s, like, King Edward is part of your upbringing when it comes to playing guitar. So Eddie, yeah, Entomb's awesome. Like, Eddie holds his pick like that, so he's got his first finger free to tap. And he cranks his thumb at this weird angle way. Like, do that one. I'd say Sour Chewits. Right, I'd really look at, start to look at all these different players and how they angle. Like Marty Friedman, look at the way that guy angles his hand. It's the weirdest. He has his hand sort of like this. It's the weirdest. It's like a really cranked up wrist like that motion. It's the weirdest style I've seen. Here, look at Gary Fox. And that's why I'm sort of hesitant to say this is the way you should do stuff. Because if I try hold it like Hetfield, I can't do it. It's like my little, you know, my little triplet thing I do, where I wiggle my thumb. It's like I'll push it down, and if if I go like that, you'll see my first finger. See how I get that thumb wiggle? And that to some people is weird too. And I don't even know how I come up with that. How's it going, Gary? I don't know. That was from trying to play Hetfield's riffs, which there was no YouTube or nothing. You know, it's like. Even Mustaine's riff, you know. Wherever that part goes. No worries, Garboni. Thanks for checking in, brother. Appreciate it. And thanks for the super chat. And good night, mate. Hope you get some good sleep and have a good day tomorrow, mate. Used to be fully against the thumb wiggle, but nowadays he's for it, for adding nuances. His words. See, this is and Gary could even, you know, chime in with your experiences too. So Gary's obviously a very educated guitar player who's looked at a lot of different players, and you study great players like Badio, unbelievable, like what the hell. He's, yeah, you know, Michelangelo Badio. He can play sweep picking left-handed or right-handed. He can play two necks like this. He's insane. His sweep picking's just insane. His picking technique insane. Just effortless, you know. But he obviously has put some work in, and this is one thing. I just find it hard to sort of say exactly how to do things. And while I've probably focused more on the patterns and just where to put your fingers and sort of rhythmic ideas and things more than the actual how to do the picking and all that. One thing I know for a fact is, you know, and this is from like your more shred players, is controlling how much you lift your fingers off the fretboard. So if your fingers are like flailing, say when you're doing a run, any type of run, you know, you don't want your fingers to be coming up high, which is when you are starting off, your fingers tend to flail around and come up very high. You'll notice the really good shredders, their fingers don't come far off the strings. They're very good at controlling how far their fingers come off the fretboard. And that's all about the littler movements. That's called economy of movement. And then there's another guy called Troy Grady. Oh mate, he's freaking believable. Ambidextrous sweep picking. Like, what is that? I'm starting to think there could be like a sub-alien race of humans, and I'm just like caveman DNA. So, and I like sweep picking. I find really difficult. You know, like trying to. I'm a bit messy. You definitely, I think, want to have a cleaner tone too when sweep picking. I've got a boost pedal, a Seymour Duncan blackout boosted, and my gain's pretty high on my amp. I noticed like if you are going to do see if I went to mid gain, probably turn off the boost. But and I definitely don't use sweep picking or much because also I sound like I'm doing exercises. You'll find some of the best lead players, they come in and out of things, not sounding like here's the box shape that I've been practicing over a metronome. Like Marty Friedman's a classic example of someone who throws in sweep picking and certain lead runs and legato so tastefully. When I try to do leads, I'm still very much sound like I'm doing box shaped patterns. And I'm very aware of all these things. Thanks, brother. I'm glad they've helped you gallop, you know. He doesn't, yeah, Marty never sweeps, again his words. What does he call it, Gary, if he's not sweeping? Because there is some like in, what would it be, Tornado of Souls? Is that the one? But he's just another, the way he phrases, the way I find when I go to do a lead, which is why I sort of stopped trying to be, I never really was focused on a lead player. I'm a bit too lazy in a way to be as good as some of these guys. And yeah, I always sound like, when I go to do a lead, I'm just doing a box shape of legato going. You know what I mean? Like that. It's anyone who's really looked at lead players and really tried to study it and can do lead and that, they can just see that I'm just doing a legato box shape of the harmonic minor scale. To them, they're like, you're trapped in your box there, mate. And I'm like, that's fair. Like, they're, like I said, really advanced players can see what I'm doing. The advanced ones almost, they wouldn't even, I tend to always, so if I'm in E, I always go to that E. They tend, like Marty's one for that, he won't always start on the root note. He'd be like, I'm doing starting on the root note, but the octave, fuck me dead. See, I've got a habit to always go for the root note, which is definitely a very, in a way, beginner, I suppose. Like the great ones I've seen, they just the way they slip and slide out of stuff and you're not too sure where they're starting from, but they make it just flow so nice. So yeah. Oh man, isn't it the weirdest illusion, like Friedman's picking hand? And that's why I'm sort of hesitant to be like, this is how you should hold a pick, this is how you should hold your hand. It's more almost like, it's what works for me. So when I do my gallops, I do that little thumb wiggle. But then when I do tremolo picking, I rest my fingers on the body. And you can even probably see on that one, if I get the light, see like the scratch spot on the guitar. Even me Dean, you can see where I've scratched the paint off it, which I could bring that one in. We'll do some, C standard action. Let's grab this. Which I might have to, because I've got to switch the cord around. You need the right angle jack when you're using the Dean. Yeah, I'll put this one in C standard. So this one here, it started like, well, I'm actually, I did a trade. I'm actually a tradesman spray painter. I used to do it, but for health reasons, I had to get out of the trade. So I used to work in the smash repair industry. I'm actually did a trade. My dad's in the industry, grew up around cars. Another part of my life is, yeah. I think you can hear by the way I talk like I'm a bit bogan Aussie, and like any bogan Aussie knows about doing burnouts in cars and all that sort of stuff. We grow up with it. So basically this one started, I got it in 2006, the Dean Dymo Flame, and it's gloss black on the back. You can see it. I actually sand my necks too with 1200. So see, that's from the factory, gloss black, right? And then what happened was, it was the Dymo Flame. So they just put a print. It's actually just like a print they put on them. And what happened is, the headstock where the tuners are, the paint was starting to flake off the print. And then round here I chipped it, and I didn't like the way I was flaking off. So I just grabbed a sander. It's like if you ever worked on cars, it's a palm sander. Why is the ads coming on? I turned the ads off. What the hell's going on? Yeah, monetization's off. Monetization off. What are we doing? Anyway, let me know if you keep seeing those ads. I turn those off on the thing, because look at this. I can even show you this stuff. If I turn off, where's my camera? Should be on there somewhere, shouldn't it? Then go road shotgun, mic, aux, controls. It's one of them. Oh, there it is there. My Zengo Sony. Oh, it's like Inception. It's on the screen, is it? Okay. So I turn this screen over to here, move that one off. Live streaming over to here. Bring up my OBS again. You haven't had ads yet? Oh, cool. I see them popping up on my one. They give me ads. Yeah, so anyway, as you see, I'm very good at staying on topic. But yeah, so where we were at, the paint job, righto. Let me know if you see ads, because that's what I was trying to just pull up now. If I take off this one now, my camera. Oh wait, put this back over here, put that there. Now turn off my camera. See, have I turned it off there? So let me know. I've turned off, see, look, off, monetization, live close. That's on that Thursday night stream, so I don't know what they're doing. Bloody YouTube. It's weird. And then I'll turn my camera back on. Video capture. That one. That's what we want. Sweet. Yeah, I'll bring me this screen over to here too. I know, did you see that? Like I showed you how I turned it off and it's still like trying to G ups. I've got the Mighty Peppers in here. Look out. So yeah, back before I saw the ad and I'm like, I swear bro, I'm not doing no ads. Well, I turned it off, so who knows. But anyway, so yeah, the paint was flaking off and so I just sanded the tops of that print off the guitar. And then we had this in like Holden's, we call them GMH, but it's called GMH Flat Black, and it's a company called Sickens, but it was just like flat black in a can that you can use to paint around the windows, like the window frames of cars. Like on a lot of Holdens and cars, they have black around the windows. You have the color of the car, and then they have black. It's called GMH Flat Black. And then so what happened was I just got the guitar, put it in my backyard on a stand, masked around the edge, got an aerosol can of this flat black, and it was more just like I'll just see what it looks like because I was going to maybe do a different paint job, and I just smashed it in the backyard underneath the gum tree as you do, and it come up looking sick. I was like, this looks freaking. I love how it looks like all flat. Look at the headstock. Flat black, eh? Just looks sick. And then, so now, like, because I done it a fair few years ago, and as you can see, that's as I've picked on this guitar, right there, just from it, you can see my tremolo picking scratches, and that's why I've actually scratched the paint off it. And there's the mahogany underneath. It still had the sealer, and that's it, eh? Yeah, you know, that's where you get it from, GMH Flat Black. Oh God, love your rhythms, you inspire me to be a... Thanks Brian, appreciate that. Love what you do, absolutely some of the best content out there, at least for me. I tend to get stuck in analysis paralysis, so your bite-sized videos are perfect. Thank you. Hammering. That's, yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah. And this is what the channel, why it still keeps going. Like comments like that, it's like, by the feedback I get from people, I'm like, okay, that's what you just want to see. And I just started breaking down like the way my brain works, instead of trying to like because I don't know all this super scale theory stuff. Like, we're just Aussies, we have a crack, you know, not to say, once again too, it's nothing against theory people, this is just the way I do it. If you know, people want to learn theory, I definitely think it helps you navigate things, knowing how things work, knowing your patterns. But to me, I started breaking it down, because to me it's almost like all you've got is 12 notes. You got the freaking, so I turn this one back on now. C standard, how sick's that, eh? You know, and I'm just frothing on it. That's what people enjoy too. So you got 12 notes. 12th fret is the octave. It's E, just, and that's 7th fret. Right? Yeah. There's your octave there, which will. So it just keeps repeating all over the fretboard. So no matter what you do, whatever shapes, patterns, all this type of thing, like there is only 12 notes. They're just repeated. You can put them, stack them on top of each other. They do big fat power chords, all that sort of stuff. Need me boost pedal. And then you're like, okay, sweet. And from all the stuff we listen to, you know it's going to be one of the first things you're ever going to learn on the guitar. The minute you learn that just chuggy power chord, straight away. Like, you know, I'm nearly 50 freaking years old and I still froth on that, eh? It's just... And I was even playing some like Slayer stuff, you know, so... Like a lot of the stuff I do, I'm ripping off Slayer so much. It's jumping up to the 7th fret. That album, it's got so many cool riffs. Even their earlier stuff, you know, now I'm in C, but why not play Slayer in C standard, you know? That riff and then into Gallows. Yeah, I'd say 6 seasons, eh? How's it go? Classic as shit, isn't it? And all they're doing there, the octaves of that pattern there, when they go to the distortion, they're just like... Which is just the octave that... Yeah, it's just that, and that's, so once you start to learn those basics of it, that's just octaves, but you could do it there. And you're okay, so now I've got over 1, straight away, and then you just, what are you going to do? Gallop it, tremolo pick it? I'm just using the notes of frickin' seasons right there in C standard. And then you just groove with it, which, where do you get that? I'm a Pantera dime bag. That's why I've got a Dean ML, you know? It's freaking... You know that? do the frickin' if I use my mouth it makes the note better. Whatever the hell that is. I used to even hate that, like pulling faces and shit, and I'd just be like trying to stop it, and then I went, you know what? I survived cancer, man. I really don't give a crap anymore, to tell you the truth. That's all I can say. Once you've been in hospital freaking getting surgery for cancer, then all this, mate, if people think I look like an idiot because I pull faces, then pff, whatever. The lightest touch, man. It's the same as if you were doing it just with your finger. All you got to do when you go for pinch harmonics, that's why I wasn't hitting all of them, because I was sort of mucking around a lot. You'll find a spot. See, so there's one right there. So when I go for it, where that white writing is, and just the edge of my pickup, and the slightest glance, like I can even go. I can touch it with my finger. You can touch it with the tip of your finger and you'll get one. And that's all you're going to do. The lightest little touch is all you need. And they're in spots. And what's going to happen is, so if this spot is here on the 4th fret, as you move your finger up the fretboard, the harmonic moves with it, forward, or it moves backwards. So if you've got one here, the 4th fret, and I move it back to the 1st fret, yeah, sweet spot. Everything's about the sweet spot. Secret to life, isn't it? So that one's right in the middle between the two humbuckers. I even, when I was like practicing back in the day, back in my day, I used to put little stickers in the spots. Say I was playing something and I wanted to get that pinch harmonic, I'd put a little sticker right in the spot so I knew I had to just clip it over that spot to get it. Yeah, I hear you there, hammering. Hammering. Saying it like hammering. Sounds kinky, that one. But yeah. No, you're right, mate. It, you know, so you're at 100%. What hammering's saying there is that's what I started to realise was, I was so focused on leads, but I really wasn't, because I'd always come back to the and the simplicity of, you know, the riffs. And not all riffs are simple, but I like simple riffs, or more simplified. It's more about the rhythmic groove for me of a riff than always being like, okay then, when I go to play a riff, it's not always going to be, you know, oh, I better do the harmonic minor or this one. I've learnt this scale where it goes. I'm like, yeah, that's cool to know all that stuff, but really I just grab a note. And I go, okay, what could work with that? Yep, like that. Straight away, I'm like, that sounds cool. I don't need to understand what the hell's happened. I don't need to know that it's part of frickin' something Beethoven wrote and knew how to write it down on a piece of paper, and you understand that it's on this wheel of notes and everyone knows the theory. I really don't care, to tell you the truth. Like when I'm riffing out, I'm not like, oh yeah, that's totally, I'm using the circle of fifths there. And that's the F major minor harmonic frickin' mixolydian frickin', yeah, whatever. I just don't care. Because from how I grew up, see, this is what it would be too. I probably, if I went to a conservatory of music, or went to university and studied it that way, I would have been like, hell yeah. But I was like, you know, going to a concert in the pit, or having a stereo blasting while I'm riding my skateboard and breaking my bones and stuff. Like, hearing a riff and going, yeah, I'm going to try and jump off something, I'm going to break me bone, then I'm going to strap up me broken bone, because you're a pussy if you can't suck it up and handle a broken bone, and then eat shit again onto a broken bone. Like, that was literally shit I was doing as a kid. You know? It's all good, hammering. That's all good. I know when I'm saying it, I'm just like, yeah, so... But that's what the core of what I'm doing, or what I started to realise, was like, okay, it's the adrenaline. It's like, if you're in a pit, you know, and they're just... You know, straight away, like, I'm just like, hell yeah. Old man's getting fired up. Because that was what I learnt, was like, you've got the slow part, before someone's on stage going, you ready to run into each other and frickin', you know, accidentally elbow each other in the face and have a great time. You know, it's just, it don't get more simple than that. And then it comes down to, am I weak or too weak to be able to smash out tremolo picking, you know? And I've got to practice that all the time. My down picking, like, I suck, man. I'd go to tremolo picking as my default, because my down picking, I'm weak. I'll start doing, like, I can do gallops way easier than down picking. So all of these things. 4 bands I'm listening to at the moment. Today at work, I was listening to Nile. So lately, it's been Nile, Carcass. Who was the other one this week? Nile, Carcass. I always swear I listen to one song on Spotify and it shows me all these other bands. I was listening to Deicide because they brought out a new one. So Nile, Carcass, Deicide, and then always Cannibal Corpse, eh? They always get a look in. I was listening to, what's that freaking band called? Aborted. That's what I was listening to. So Aborted, Nile, Carcass, and Deicide. But it's always switching it up, man. I'll listen to Sepultura. I also listen to a lot of more chilled stuff too, because depending on what mood I'm in, I don't want to get too G'd up at work. I'm listening to something go, whoa, just because I got the AirPods in and I'm fully G'ing myself up, and then someone says something, I'm like, what the fuck you want, dickhead? Fuck off. I'm like, oh shit, I'm at work. I can't have full freaking hypo power here right now, depending on the mood I'm in. So I even love my 80s too, eh? I like 80s pop. Reminds me of being a kid. Hey, G'd me up with a frickin' ad again. I turned you off. Why are you happening? I don't know if you just got hit with an ad then. I've seen it come up on my one and I turned it off. I don't know what you're running here, YouTube. Maybe it's like in the next stream it'll frickin' turn off. Bugger if I know, eh? But yeah, so that's what it is. It always changes. I listen also too to like I like traditional Japanese music, koto. That relaxes me. It's like waterfalls and freaking bird sounds with this koto music, and mixed with pianos and all sorts of stuff. That's normally in the morning. It all depends, eh? So I haven't listened to it, eh? I'm pretty lazy when it comes to checking out lots of new stuff. So I haven't heard that one, hammering. I always find that classic too, eh? When someone's like, oh, I do some riff, and they're like, oh, that sounds like this band. Okay. Yeah, I'm even that clueless with all the different people who played in different bands. I'm, yeah, definitely slack. A bit lazy, eh, when it comes to that. I swear I'm stuck on like, it was only, I think it's always, yeah, like, I'm pretty lazy and I suppose a bit shameful for that one, but it's always Spotify now, which probably isn't helping out bands, but that's, I started seeing, I'd listen to something like Deicide and they drop in a Nile track and then I'm like, what's that band? Oh shit. And I start listening to them. I go on like a full binge of that band and all their different albums, and yeah. But I always go back to my classics. Like Carcass is always one of them. Um, I used to love Pantera heaps, but I don't listen to them as much anymore. Eh? I swear it was like all started with Cannibal Corpse. I swear. Was I didn't really. I was more into thrash metal and more chilled stuff, and then I think it's when the world went to crap, basically. About 4 years ago now, when all the stuff kicked off, and that's when death metal become like, okay, I don't know why, it was always there growing up, like Deicide's first album when I was 14, and Napalm Death, Carcass was always there, but yeah. Yeah, it's that's awesome when you do find certain players like that. I think do you know who also lit me up? Who become one of my favourite? I think his name's Vog, is it? From Decapitated? I think that's how his name's Vog or something. See how you say his name. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, Vog. That's how you say it. Yeah, there's man, their size. Awesome players, and I still, I think maybe I'm just my brain stuck in the past. But that first, the Hoff brothers, even with all the crap that's happened with them, those first two albums and their riffs, just amazing. But it would have been, I think, just, and they're probably not like hardcore enough Decapitated, but yeah, that was when my rhythm chops. I was like, I suck. When watched this video of Vogue doing some playthroughs and just his pick and hand, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was sort of something I looked at, was like, if I practice hard enough, to me it became like a strength thing, where I was like, if I practice really hard, that I could get close to that. Like sweep picking and Marty Friedman leads and all that sort of stuff, I was like, playing leads like dime, I just could never hit it, eh? And then I was like, you know what? And like you're saying, the riffs are the backbone. And that's when I was like, okay, if I start working. You know, and that's when I was like, okay, that tremolo picking thing. And I was like, yeah. And that made me start searching out bands more. And then, like I think with any of this, you start, that first band that you sort of got into, you're like, okay, a little bit more extreme, little bit more extreme, little bit more extreme. And you hear someone else, and you're like, okay. And you start to just really get into a group. Like I went through an absolute Cannibal Corpse, just going through all their catalogue, and I was like, holy crap, I've slept on Cannibal Corpse for so many years, eh? And yeah, they really connected with me a lot. Just going through, like, yeah, once again at work, got the AirPods in and just, you know, going through all their back catalogue, and I was just like, holy crap, listen to these riffs. And even their leads on it. And then they, you know, Eric Rattan too. He was another one that I saw when I saw him doing some Hate Eternal playthroughs. Just the absolute beast way that dude picks. I was like, holy crap. You know? And yeah, it's with YouTube and just watching these people, it's like, this is insane. You know? So yeah, a lot of influences from that, and that's, like Hammering's saying, I've seen a couple. I started realising the importance of riffs. How that, you know, it's just so integral, and the picking part. And then, yeah, and here we are now talking live on YouTube a year later with just awesome subscribers, awesome people supporting me. And that's another thing of, you know, still, I could be a better player. And I'm still, you sort of question yourself. You're like, it's almost like an imposter syndrome. You're like, why would, you know, I'm no famous guitar player. I don't have credibility. I'm not in bands. I don't have albums, which, with how much work I've been putting into the channel and working full time, I'm struggling to release any type of album. Playing live was never a goal for me. It's just been the love of, like, it's a collection, hobby, I think after work type of thing. And I think you see it, like the minute I do that yeah, that's cool. And it was almost like See, when I do that, I feel free, like it's my little escape from the world. When I'm in that little, you can see it, like I'm pulling faces like I'm Joe Cocker trying to sing a woodcocker. What would you do? I sing out of tune, freak, pulling faces and stuff. But in that moment, and when I'm riffing out, I don't care about nothing. I'm just, it's so addictive, that zone. You know, for your own mental health, for release, for just getting it out there. And I've sort of developed my own way of, like, in my head I just can I hear it, I'm just like, and it's a collection and a mashup of everything I've ever listened to, all these awesome bands, and way my brain tries to put it out there, and just, yeah, loving it and enjoying it. And through that, then people through Facebook, I don't know if Peppers is still in here, but there's another guy, Scorpio, Brian, that I know from, a lot of the Americans started supporting me. That's where this, you know, through Facebook, I had so many cool Americans reaching out to me and were inspired by how I was playing or just whatever I was doing, and then they were starting bands or wanting to get better, and I was actually teaching people for free. I'd just get on Messenger and be like, yeah, no worries, mate. I love sharing that, the love of guitar, the love of metal, what we've grown up with, and just that distortion sound. It never gets old for me, and yeah, it's not getting old. And now that, you know, I've been embraced by this community, and people who send messages saying that their picking has become better, they're more inspired. You know, I've had people who've, you know, recovered from addiction who say my videos help them in their recovery. Like, all of these things have just been like, holy crap. You know, and just putting it out there. And I'd recommend this to anyone. Like, it pushes you as a player to sit in front of a camera and try play your guitar. You're like, you know. But definitely when I go for things, I know where I want to go to. I've definitely got some confidence in that. Like, I've done it enough, you know. I've been playing for over 35, it's 36 years now I've been playing. And obviously, you know, you could compare yourself, but I think I'm even at that age where I really don't care anymore. It's just about my love for it, my joy for the playing, for metal. And it's, I was thinking of even creating like a freaking video called, like, a love letter to death metal. Or even thrash metal, just a love letter to metal in general. I love it all. You know, from when I heard Suicidal Tendencies for the first time, like, you know, Possessed to Skate, when I was a little grommet freaking skater and heard freaking Suicidal Tendencies, you know. That was like, I still love that. When I see that film clip, I'm like, oh man, this is class. Another riff that, like, from when I was younger, like Bolt Thrower Cenotaph, that was just like, wow. That was one of those ones that really, you know, Bolt Thrower Cenotaph. Like, when I heard that for the first time, I was just like, this is one of those riffs. It's like the freaking first Deicide album for me. When I still hear that to this day, I'm just like, that's, what a riff. South of Heaven's another great one. Yeah. It's just, but it's all amazing, man. And that's why I was like, yeah. Normally I'm just pumping out videos every day after work, just like, here's an idea type of deal. They seem to be going across okay, and I thought, you know what, I haven't done a live in a while. Yeah, let's just crack out a live, see how it goes. And so thanks everyone for tuning in, hanging out with us. Thursday night. Yeah, it's been, I was even thinking a funny one, all the older Aussies would know this one. If I do my live stream, it'll be called Hey Hey It's Saturday. Live stream, as a little nod. Tip of the hat. That'd be a classic. The Aussies would know that one. It'll be the Hey Hey It's Saturday live stream. I love it. You know, like, am I like the most knowledgeable about this scene? No, I'm not. Am I the most only I listen to death metal, craziest death metal person? No, I'm not. That's why, like, I don't even know if I'm doing black metal, death metal, thrash metal. I've got bits of you'll see me doing heaps of vibrato. I'm popping off pinch harmonics. Like, I even like hair metal. I really don't. I'm just this mashup of everything. You know, and but what with YouTube and with titling things and providing for an audience, obviously you're not going to do death metal riffs and say, well, here's some ABBA. Not that I listen to ABBA, but, you know. Or say Michael Jackson, you know. Every now and then I might put on that. Whatever 80s pop, I can sing it all. There's all old Aussie groups, Divinals, Mental as Anything, Hoodoo Gurus, you know. Yeah, Molly Meldrum. Yeah, like Countdown. I used to watch Countdown as a kid. So, yeah, there's a song Send Me an Angel, like, oh, what are they called? That band, were they Breakfast Club or frickin', oh, Tears for Fears. They got some classic songs. So now I listen to all that stuff, the way it's all layered, I'm like, freaking hell, listen to this. Like, I like 80s music. You know, all that pop stuff I grew up with. Those classic songs, eh? Like, if they come on the radio, I'm singing along to them, going, yeah, I love it all. But then metal was just another part of who I am. And that's more what I gravitate towards. Like, that's why I've got high gain amps behind me. That's why I've got Dean MLs and the pointier guitars and things like that, where it's all good, man. We love it all. And I love the adrenaline. Like, anyone, yeah. I don't think you're not raging all the time. You're not like, fuck, yeah, smashing riffs all the time, you know? Oh, is that what it is? Real life. There you go. Yeah, that's like a classic song, man. Like, there's one called Electric Dreams. Frickin' from back in the day. It's one of my favourite old songs. So, yeah. And I don't care to say, like, yeah, it's funny if you actually, I saw an interview with Glenn Benton, and he's like, I don't even listen to death metal. He listens to all this old classic stuff that he grew up with. You know, whatever it is. Just anything with some soul in it, with some heart, whatever. And it's all my story. At the end of the day, it's whatever I grew up listening to. At that moment, at that time, this is what I'm into. It's all good. But I love the tremolo picking, and that's all I do. I just have to play, don't I? I don't have to be like, oh, I'm this historian. Like, go watch Headbanger TV. If you want to keep up on someone who knows the nuances of heavy metal and all the different subgenres and the different bands and all that stuff, yeah, 100%. There's lots of information out there. I'm just one little corner, little tiny speck of dust on the internet world or YouTube world where people have found me and have been encouraging me to keep going and appreciate what I've done. Like, you know, like Hammering there, his vids, comments like that, your vids definitely help me to filter out the noise and allows me to center in on what it's about. That sort of comments like this, and it's just Tristan supporting, Old Goda's supporting me, all these comments through to, you know, Illusia, he's another one. So many people have reached out to me through my Patreon too. Like, that just spins me out. The people believe in me or care about what I'm doing enough that they'd even contribute some dollars to me, which was actually subscribers said to me, they're like, oh, you should start a Patreon. That was like in November, someone in the comments, and I'm like, meh, really, should I? And it's strange if you can imagine, like you can imagine if you were to start a channel and people were happy to, it's just, yeah, Psalms of Darkness, it's just, people have really taken me, have appreciated what I'm doing. Yeah, I get so many comments about how the way I play or what I'm doing motivates people, and I know like some of my videos and some of the riffs I watch them back, it's a little hit and miss, but I think it's the realness too. What a lot of people are noticing, because this world is like, so many people are full of crap, and they're not being themselves, and they're just putting up, it's just polished and all of this, It's just, yeah, and I love the riffs, man. I don't even know where it comes. Like, I can just keep smashing out riffs. The hardest thing for me to do is not come up with the riffs. It's to write them out in tab form and to then edit it into a video and all of this. Because I've had to teach myself how to do tabs, like in time signatures, like the video editing. Like if you see the evolution, like I've just got like a white square. I used to use Photoshop. I didn't even know you could edit to put them in the screen and do it in Premiere Pro, because I'm using Adobe software. Oh man, I lose it hard. Like sometimes I've got to rein myself in and go like, shit, I'm off on a tangent again, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got to stop. Is it going too far? Like, what do people want to see? But there you go, Psalms of Darkness have he's fired me up to keep riffing out and be spontaneous. And comments like that, even though if you look at the my statistics, like, and when the views drop off, a lot of people drop off when I start doing that. But because I've got someone leaving a comment saying they love it when I go nuts at the end, that's just going to fire me up to keep doing it. Because I'm like, you know what? Hey, a lot of people are tuning out, but I've got someone who's appreciating it. Here you go, brother. I'm going to just go nuts. You know? How's it going, Ali? From Poland. That's sick too, eh? Someone from Europe. Yeah. It is, it's really time consuming, man. Like, that video, that the one I did, it was just death metal riffs. And I'm not to say none of this to complain about it or anything, but just to let you know the process. So that one started with programming, getting just the beats happening. I had to program it, and it's a lot of my lack of knowledge that makes it harder for me. So that as you do it more and you learn more, you get quicker at doing this one. It's crazy, eh, Ali? Hails from Melbourne. What do you still doing ads for? Skip the ads. Sorry about the ads too. I swear, I showed it before. I bloody turned the things off. And they frickin'... Yeah, keeps putting them up. So sorry. Yeah, thanks for that, Ali. Appreciate that. You've been here from the beginning, eh? It's crazy, eh, man? I'm still amazed by it. I'm slowly starting to get more accepting that I've got something to offer. And that's been one of the hardest things for me to handle. Oh, awesome, you got premium. I swear I turned it off on, where's the freaking... That one there, I've got to show you is this one. There. I showed it before, look, monetization's off. and it freaking keeps popping them. I was like, the hell are you doing, YouTube? It's a full G up, eh? So yeah, go back to the other, what's that one? I've got not many videos. There's a couple. I don't do a lot in E standard. I think when it comes to tunings, like if you want to jam along with me, and I understand, like if you only have one guitar and having to retune it and the gauges and all that, it can be a pain for sure. With a lot of so I do have some E standard, but not much. It's probably, I'd say 10% maybe of my videos would be, not even maybe, but a very small amount. It's one of the thrash videos. If you see the Gibson, the Les Paul, they're the E standard videos. So if you see my Les Paul, that's how you pretty much know. The black one, the semi one, that's E flat. If it's doing patterns, or I'm talking about rhythmic things and I'm just showing you examples, know that these patterns will work in any tuning. Tuning is just to me like a preference and a taste thing. If it's like a riff that I'm playing, then I understand that you'd like to jam along with that. But even those riffs, you could still watch that and go, okay, this is what he's doing, and just take that riff and learn it by yourself. Thanks for hanging out, Brian. Good night, mate. But if you would like, if you've got it in E standard, I'll definitely try to drop a bit more E standard content. A lot of my guitars, because you'll see they're Floyd Roses, so I have them set up in a certain tuning, because you got to have this, the string gauge and how you set the Floyd up has to stay in that tuning. And because I tend to tune down a lot more, I like E flat, I like D standard is one of my favourite. And now I've just put a guitar in C standard, the ML. I also got 7 strings, so. But because I've been doing a lot of death metal, I actually recently got asked about thrash metal. Might have been Tristan asking about that one. Man, that's just sacrilege, Tristan. You gotta use the whammy bar, bro. What is a Floyd without the whammy bar? But it's I get it. Even that you can tune down only so much, but even with a block trem, because your strings start getting too flappy. I'm very, very picky when it comes to how my guitar feels. Let's turn some of this off. Yeah, they get really like blah 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 blah. They're flapping all over the place. Okay, I can maybe, let me see. I did turn it down the other day. What I'll do, you're going to have to get close up done then. Because I did turn it down on my camera. Wonder if I do it on here. Need me old man glasses. Wait a sec. Invalid during USB streaming. Fair enough. Righto. Yeah, I did turn it down the other day. There we go. Is that a bit better like that, if I'm closer to my camera? Because I did on the, because when I use this mic that's on the camera now, and I've got the amps playing, it ends up distorting. Like I like to crank the amp a bit. Let me know how that one is, Ali, if that's making a difference being a bit closer. And maybe if I'll mute this out for a sec. Let's see if that helps a bit too. I've got wind protection thing off. Might help a little bit. Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, Juggernaut, that's a good guitar. Yeah, PRS. Just a little. I can probably. Because I'm maxed out here on the properties. Go to settings. Audios. Output. Yeah, because I turned it down on the actual internal camera thing. So it's yeah, I don't think I can crack it up anymore. You don't even have a gain control. Yeah, so I've maxed out there as much as it can go. Properties on that one. Yeah, you can't even increase the gain on it, so yeah, we'll have to do that one. I don't think I can even move that off there. Where's the time now anyway? But regardless, string gauge is on 6 string. I use 1046, 10 to 52 on the 7 strings, and I got 11 to 64. The B string 64. Yeah, I'd probably like put a boost on that, just to try how you set your amp up. That can be, if you've got that thick string, a bit flubby, but then it's that balance between, if you try to cut the flubbiness of that super thick low string, then when you go to your high strings, then they become too brittle and shrill sounding. So it's that fine line between yeah, so if you were to put a boost on, it's definitely going to cut through. I don't know if you're boosting. Um, it will cut through the bass frequency. Because you really, people always think about boost pedals and that as like how they're hitting your amp and all. It's all about what it's doing to your amp. But basically, what a boost pedal is doing, especially when you've got a downtuned or a thicker string, a bassier string that you're trying to chill out, it's what your amp's seeing. So it's your pickups are picking up that string, then it's going out of your guitar into the front of the amp. So if you put something in between your guitar and the front of the amp, it's affecting the signal that the amp then sees. And so that's why if you add in some type of a pedal like a boost pedal or something, you know, even like an EQ pedal in between the guitar and the amp, that is, you can then put on, like a, say you had a 6 band or a 10 band in, it would be EQing your guitar and what the amp actually sees, because it only sees whatever signal it sees. If you were to plug a bass guitar in, it sees a really resonant thick string, and so that's basically, yeah, any type of thing like that's going to help for sure. And I always have boosts for tight, especially, yeah, if you're going to be tuning down low. There's lots of pedals out there, but yeah. a 56. Yeah, but it's also that balance too. And yeah, I didn't read that part where he said should use a 56 or 59 on a B. It's all depends too, because the tension of the string is important too to how you're playing. So if it goes, if you like the tension of a 64 and you like the way when you dig in, it's depending on how hard you pick. Some people are very heavy with their picking, so if the string starts doing this as you're picking and it's moving all over the place, then it affects how you pick, because it's flapping, and as it's moving and flapping, your sort of pick hand's like getting thrown a little bit off sync. So yeah, so a wood cut, obviously the thinner you go of a string, the less bass frequency that string is gonna have, because it's like a bass guitar string, isn't it? The thicker you get, the more bass it's gonna import. That's why your treble strings or your higher thin strings sound more thin and brittle than your low strings. So, but between a 64 to 59, I don't think you're going to see much difference. A 64 to a 52, a little bit. I'd more look into what are you running in between your amps. So, a boost pedal, I'd be looking at something in between, manipulating the signal that your amp sees would be my, yeah. If you like the feel of a 64, I think all seven strings have got a little bit of that flubbiness, because it's not only is it the thickness of the string, but it's tuning down adds a resonance and a flubbiness of its own too. So yeah, that's my answer to that one. What's the time now? We got it. Oh, got a friend who's wants to buy a guitar. He's on his Les Paul kick. Oh, he's the Dean Thoroughbred. I'll tell him to buy it. Guitar. But I'm gonna have to. It's getting like 8:30 here now. Got work in the morning. Get up at 4:30 in the morning a.m. So thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for all the support. You continually give the channel. Let's see where we can take this one, eh? I've got plenty more riffs. I just keep having fun, eh? And just being myself and riffing out and loving it, eh? Smashing out riffs. I've got my little sign-offs at the end. Take care of yourself. Look after each other. And that pretty much comes from that one, is take care of yourself, because of survived cancer and I had to have surgery and stuff for that. So yeah, that's why that line comes out, take care of yourself, because I didn't used to look after myself the best. But yeah, I appreciate the love and support and encouragement, man. It does mean a lot, eh? Simple old bloke from Aussie, mate, just having a go, and it really does. You've kept this, the subscribers and the viewers have kept this channel going and given me the direction. And yeah, I would have sort of been like, whatever, what's the point of this? But yeah, it's been amazing, man, this journey, and it seems like it just keeps growing, and I still pinching myself, just going, what's going on here, mate? This is crazy. Yeah, no expectations, so I'm humbled and appreciative, of everybody just caring and into what I'm doing, because yeah, I'm not a famous guitar player. I'm not successful. That's where I'm sort of, you'd start down. I'm like, why is this even happening? This should only happen if I've got bands and I'm selling albums and all this. I'm just a factory worker from Western Sydney in Australia, and I'm still that one. I'm still sort of trying to wrap my head around, which is, I think they call that like some imposter syndrome. But now I'm just talking. I'm just like, whatever, rambling on here. But yeah, it's a trip, man. That's why I'm more saying that, because just how humble and appreciative I am, and it almost feels like you're like, do I even deserve this, man? This is crazy. Through YouTube, yeah, the support you everyone's given me, man, it's really. So I'm gonna keep. I definitely can keep loving guitar. That's one thing I know I've got, which is what's brought me to YouTube and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and we're just, yeah, I think just the love of playing, man. Do we have to be in bands? And nothing against people who want to do that, but I think when you're just working full time, it's such an awesome outlet, man. I just love riffs. I love guitars. I love distortion. It's just sick. Fires me up, eh? And yeah, Tristan, we get a lot of value here, bro. You know. And you love, see, like Ali loves my playing. You know. It's just crazy, man. So that's it. I'm connecting with people. It's, you know, I really thankful and appreciative to everyone. Eh? It's really amazing. So, everyone, have a good morning, night, wherever you're from around the world. To Australia, thank you. We might have to try. With my Patreons, we'll talk about it. Leave some comments what you think's a good day, good time for live stream. I'm leaning towards a hey hey it's Saturday style. So we'll see what goes on there, eh? Yeah. That was a bit gay looking. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. but yeah. If you're into that, no worries. Double thumbs up. I've got gay family members, all good. No hate YouTube, don't cancel me. It's all good. But hey, no worries. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate it, man. I'll see you in the next one. Catch us later. Yeah, get that notification. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification so you're always ready for more done content. Catch us later, legends. See you in the next one, eh?